my brother, the Cabinet Secretary for Education, Honorable Julius Migos Ogamba, who is the chief guest, my PS, Dr. Liban, the Kenya Pipeline Company Board of Directors, the chairperson of the KPC Foundation Board of Trustees, who is also the MD of KPC, Joe Sang, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. I'll be very brief. My singular duty this morning is to welcome the chief guest. But before I do so, allow me to make some very, very few remarks. It's a great honor indeed for me to join you today for the official launch of INUKA Scholarship Program by the Kenya Pipeline Company Foundation. This is indeed a momentous occasion when we celebrate a transformative initiative of a well-governed public institution that has endeavored to create lasting impression in the lives of those who otherwise had been ostracized by the society. This is a call beyond Kenya Pipeline Company's core mandate, and we must applaud them. It is not in doubt that state corporations play a critical role in national development, not just through service delivery, but also through corporate social investment that uplifts communities. KPC has demonstrated that when public institutions uphold transparency, accountability, and practice good governance, they can reinvest in the communities they serve, and thereby occasioning shared prosperity. And this has been evidenced by the KPC Foundation's ability to establish a transformative scholarship program that has seen hundreds of students drawn from across the country access quality education. The move is a testament to KPC's strong financial performance, of course, because without that you can't venture into this. My brother C.S. Ogamba, yes, KPC is showing the way. Yeah, by fast performing well, okay, financially speaking. And therefore, it is a testament to your financial performance, a prudent governance, and commitment to social responsibility. As your parent ministry, we take pride in KPC's efforts to extend its impact beyond the petroleum sector and into the lives of our young people. I urge other state agencies, and there are many, not just in this ministry, all of them. I urge them to emulate this enviable spirit of giving back, ensuring that economic growth is inclusive and beneficial to all segments of our society. And that is the rallying call of His Excellency the President. You know, the President is at the forefront in encouraging and embedding inclusivity in all aspects of public affairs management. So, ladies and gentlemen, as the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, we recognize that education is the greatest equalizer. That has been said many times. It is indeed the bridge that connects aspiration to achievement, regardless of one's circumstances at birth. The INUKA scholars before us today represent Kenya's future innovators and problem solvers. To develop their potential, we must provide an enabling learning environment through inclusive, quality education supported by sustainable energy solutions. It is the only way through which our industrialization dream can be realized. Energy is the lifeblood of any 21st century education system. It lights up classrooms, powers assistive devices, and enables the use of digital learning tools. This belief guides our unrelenting push to achieve universal access to electricity by the year 2030. My ministry is making steady progress through initiatives such as the Rural Electrification Program and solar mini-grids in remote counties, or those counties that are currently underserved. As a leader in renewable energy from geothermal, wind, solar, hydro resources, Kenya is well positioned to skill its youth for the jobs of tomorrow. The energy sector itself can absorb thousands of solar technicians, wind turbine engineers, and green energy entrepreneurs, among others. So my ministry is committed to strengthening linkages between the energy and the education sector to drive this agenda. We are collaborating with industry players to provide internships, apprenticeships, and training programs that create a seamless pathway for youth into energy careers. Kenya aims to achieve carbon neutrality by the year 2050. So building local capacity to power this clean energy transition is imperative. We must begin nurturing the next generation of renewable energy technicians, engineers, and innovators generally. In this regard, we recognize that empowering people who are able differently is integral for Kenya to achieve the UN Sustainable Development Goal by 2030. It is both a moral duty and an economic imperative, as persons able differently make up 15% of the world's population, or thereabout. We commend the Kenya Pipeline Company Foundation for not only talking the talk, but for walking the talk through INUKA. I must congratulate the INUKA scholars for their achievement and perseverance. You are the living embodiment that being able differently does not necessarily mean inability. Your success demonstrates the heights we can reach as a nation when we unleash the full potential of all our people. In other words, carrying everybody along, not leaving others behind. Okay? In conclusion, I wish the INUKA scholarship program all the best as it enters an exciting new chapter anchored on transforming lives and opening doors for students with disabilities across the country. And I want to thank my sister, Senator Asigi, for ensuring that we eventually as a country have a law. As somebody with experience in the House, I know that it's not a mean feat to process a bill to the stage it has reached, where it's simply awaiting presidential assent. So we want to congratulate you, Senator Asige, for that wonderful achievement. And we look forward to seeing you process the other one, the one on learning. What you called it? I don't know what you called it. Yes, correct. That will also come in handy. So in conclusion, I wish to assure you that the Ministry of Energy and Petroleum remains committed to supporting initiatives that promote inclusive, quality education to empower all Kenyans. Thank you very much, and may God bless you. Now, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in welcoming our chief guest, the Honorable Dr. Julius Migos Ogamba.
Thank you, my broad-based brother. Thank you so much, Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, my brother Upio Andai, the PS Petroleum, Dr. Liban, nominated Senator Honorable Asige, the KPC Board of Directors Chairperson or High Representative Faith Boynet, and other board members of KPC here present, the KPC MD and the KPC Foundation Board of Trustees, and Chairperson Mr. Joe Sang, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning again. Mbona mko baridi hivi leo? Hamjapewa kakitu? Tutapange kakitu? Ladies and gentlemen, as I sat here today, and before I make my speech, I always, when I'm invited to such functions, I ask myself, why am I here? Sometimes you get invited to do the official function, but when you reach there, you get information that gives you the reason why you are there, over and above the official function that you're invited for. As a man of faith, and for those of you who go to church, you know sometimes when the preacher is preaching, you ask yourself, is that message for me? Or is it for somebody else? And somehow you get a message for yourself from the sermon that the preacher is giving. Today, as I sat and listened to the panelists, I realized that I'm here for more than just officiating on the INUKA Foundation. Several things popped up to me in my mind. One of them is, how are we implementing the laws that we have with respect to persons with disability as a country? Are we faithful to those laws? Are we doing enough to ensure that they are implemented because the policies and the laws exist? And I say this because under our laws, for example, AGPO is required to receive 30% of all government procurement contracts. For some institutions, such as maybe this one that we had before, you'd find that 30% of the contracts could amount to something like 10 billion. Can we say that this institution, for example, has given the AGPO the 30% to the people that are required to get? There are a number of challenges other than just passing that law that limit the implementation of the 30%. And I'm picking this from the fact that Honorable Asige has fought very hard to have a law passed. But that law, unless other pieces of legislation are changed, will not be able to achieve what it intends to achieve. I'll give you an example. If you do not give the people with disability the capacity to finance those contracts, then they are just on paper. Somebody else will be doing those contracts instead of them. So what do? We should be able to change two other pieces of legislation. One, the Law of Contract Act should stipulate that if a person with disability gets a contract, once the contract is performed, payment should be done within 45 days, so that we remove them from being part and parcel of that pending bills program. Number two, we probably need to think about changing the Banking Act, where we should be able to show that if an institution like KPC has given a contract to a person with disability, with this LPO, the bank should be able to finance that contract as long as they sign an agreement with KPC that the payment will be done through that bank. That cycle that circuit would be complete. And therefore, the 30% would be given life. Do you see where I'm going with this? Number 3, and Kenneth said it here, when he was in school, it started with his friend who was a cook, Mr. Mogaka, setting up ramps or coming up with the idea of doing those ramps. So as I sat here today, I asked myself, are all my institutions compliant? So what came to my mind right away, and my peer has written it down, is that we'll be issuing a circular to audit all our institutions to confirm compliance. That, I think, is one of the single most reasons why I am here today, other than just launching this particular foundation, which is very critical. And I want to thank KPC Foundation before I read my speech. You're one of those institutions that are making the government proud. And my brother, you are doing very well in the Ministry of Energy, because most of your parastatals have returned profits this year. You are doing very, very well. I think I'm talking about KPC, I'm talking about KenGen, I'm talking about Kenya Power. So you are doing extremely well, which shows that it is possible for our institutions, once governance is ensured, good governance ensured, just as shown by KPC here, to return profits. And with profits, we are then able to do the 1.5% to assist the people that need assistance. Because Babu, without resources, will not be able to do these things. And as we said, let us call upon all our other institutions. Please, once you are given a job running an institution, which is a public institution, refer to Article 129 of the Constitution. Article 129 sub Article 2. It simply says, whatever decisions you make those decisions for the benefit of the people for whom you are working. So for me, that is what guides me every day. I make decisions because, as you can see, if you see these INUKA scholars, you would be a mad person to be making decisions or to be making policies that are meant to stop them from achieving their dreams or their goals, especially struggling as much as they do. So it is upon us, all of us, hands on deck, because we can't do this alone. It is a group effort, it's a team effort for us to be able to ensure that all our people get the benefit that they are required to get from the government and from our institutions. So having said that, let me start by saying I'm happy to be here today for the official launch of the INUKA Scholarship Program. This occasion marks a significant milestone in our nation's journey towards inclusive and equitable education for all our children, especially those with disabilities. I commend the KPC Foundation for its commitment to empowering people with disabilities through education. Through the INUKA Scholarship Program, the Foundation has demonstrated that when we invest in education and skills development of marginalized groups, we unlock their potential and pave the way for them to live meaningful, productive lives of dignity. Provision of scholarships is the best way to ensure that needy and vulnerable children in our society access education, and is in line with the Ministry of Education's mantra of leave no one behind. Over the years, the government of Kenya, working jointly with development partners, has been implementing the Elimu Scholarship Program, which has seen more than 52,000 students from needy and vulnerable backgrounds access education. But that is not enough. There is need to have many more programs like the INUKA Foundation program to cover the rest of the students, because the numbers are very, very large. These efforts address inequities under the ministry are implemented through the Secondary Education Quality Improvement Project, SEQUIP, and the Kenya Primary Education Equity in Learning, KPIL program, with support from the World Bank, the Global Partnerships for Education, known as GPE, and the LEGO Foundation. The Elimu Scholarship Program uniquely stands out as the sole intervention that specifically and directly addresses inequity at household levels. The demand for scholarship support under SEQUIP and KPIL program has continued to increase annually. For instance, in 2024 alone, the program catered for more than 14,426 beneficiaries. For sustainability of the program, the ministry engaged the Jomo Kenyatta Foundation, a government institution, to administer the scholarships. I therefore thank the KPC Foundation for stepping in with its own unique scholarship program that will assist the government in its commitment to ensure all needy children are enrolled in schools. I welcome more partners to join our scholarship initiatives as we prepare to transition the first cohort of our competency-based education class to grade 10 in 2026. Ladies and gentlemen, as you are aware, education is the bedrock of any society, serving as the greatest equalizer and the key to unlocking human potential. It is a powerful tool that can lift individuals out of poverty, empower communities, and drive sustainable development. However, for far too long, children with disabilities have faced significant barriers in accessing quality education, hindering their ability to realize their full potential. According to the National Survey on Children with Disabilities and Special Needs in Education conducted in 2018, approximately 11.4% of children aged between 3 and 21 in Kenya have disabilities. That percentage translates to 2,489,252 children, 2.4 and above. The survey identified several challenges faced by children with disabilities in the education journey. These include lack of accessible infrastructure, inadequate teacher training, and negative attitudes towards these children. These challenges have resulted in lower enrollment and high dropout rates among these vulnerable groups. However, this issue is not unique to Kenya alone. It is a global crisis. An estimated 240 million children worldwide live with disabilities, and many face significant barriers to inclusive, quality education, often being left behind in their communities and in the education systems. This is a serious concern that requires concerted efforts from government, civil society organizations, and the private sector to address. Ladies and gentlemen, under the leadership of His Excellency the President of our country, we have made significant strides in promoting inclusive education. Enrollment rates for children with disability in special needs institutions and those from marginalized regions has been on the rise. The government's initiatives such as the free primary education and free day secondary education programs have helped to increase access to education for all children regardless of their socio-economic background or abilities. Kenya's commitment to inclusive education is further reflected in our policies and international agreements. We are committed to the United Nations Convention on the Rights of the Child and the Sustainable Development Goals, SDG, especially SDG number 4, which aims to ensure inclusive and quality education for all. The Kenya government recognizes that education is critical as an enabler of these SDGs and is working towards ensuring that all our children, including those with disabilities, have access to quality education that prepares them for meaningful participation in society. It is, however, not lost on us that even as the government remains committed to ensuring that no child is left behind, significant challenges remain in our pursuit of equitable education for all, particularly for children with disability. This is why initiatives such as the INUKA scholarship program are crucial to bridging these gaps and exemplifying the power of collective action. I therefore commend the KPC Foundation for walking the talk on inclusion and investing in students living with disabilities when few others would. I'm impressed to note that in the 8 years that it has been in existence, the INUKA scholarship program has benefited 745 students from all the 47 counties with tuition fees, uniforms, and assistive learning devices. I'm confident that the number will double or triple in the next few years. This is in consideration of the fact that the program was recently expanded to include tertiary education scholarships. And talking of tertiary education, we opened the portal for COOPs on the 28th of March, and it will run all the way to 30th of this month. We have 246,000 students who passed last year KCSE and got C+ and above. But of important note is that the portal is open to candidates who sat the examinations from the year 2000 onwards. From 2000 to 2024, you are free to apply if you meet the criteria or because you had missed to apply for one reason or another. Although last year we had that number of 246,000, we have in the universities, both private and public, placement positions of 305,000. So there are enough spaces for each and every one of our students to apply, and I encourage the parents who are here and the relatives of these children to aid them, assist them in making the application so that they can get the right courses in the right universities. The INUKA scholarship program has given our children hope, confidence, and a vision for the future, with some of them now boldly pursuing careers in fields like law, medicine, engineering, and many more. I'm informed that the INUKA scholarship program beneficiaries are rising as change makers and role models in their communities. They are opening minds and changing traditional attitudes about disability. By empowering children with disabilities through education, we are not only promoting their personal growth and development, but also contributing to the economic growth and social transformation of our country. I therefore urge other organizations, both private and public, to emulate KPC Foundation's example and invest in initiatives that promote inclusive education. We cannot afford to leave behind any child, regardless of their abilities, in our quest for economic development and social transformation. Ladies and gentlemen, as we launch the INUKA scholarship program today, I'd like to reiterate my ministry's unwavering commitment to fostering an inclusive and equitable education system for all. We will continue to work towards creating an education system that is accessible, that is affordable, and of high quality for all our children, regardless of their socioeconomic backgrounds or abilities. I now therefore declare the INUKA scholarship program officially launched and wish the program great success as it continues to transform lives for generations to come. Congratulations.
Good. The Cabinet Secretary for Education, Honorable Julius Migos Ogamba, Cabinet Secretary for Energy and Petroleum, Honorable James Obiondai, our Principal Secretary, State Department for Petroleum, Dr. Mohamed Liban, nominated Senator, Honorable Crystal Asige, Kenya Pipeline Board Chairperson Representative, Mrs. Irene Washira, Kenya Pipeline Board members who are present today, the CEOs from the oil marketing companies and other CEOs or head of foundations, senior government officials present today, Kenya Pipeline executive team, colleagues, invited guests, members of the fourth estate, all protocols observed, ladies and gentlemen, good morning. Good morning once more. Good morning at the back. Good morning, our students. Today, we gather to celebrate a crucial milestone in our transformative journey, the official launch of INUKA, the flagship scholarship program of the KPC Foundation. INUKA, Swahili word for arise, is not just another scholarship initiative. It is a beacon of hope, a testament to resilience, and a commitment to breaking barriers for children who are enabled differently. For 8 years, from the year 2017, INUKA has stood as a lifeline, offering opportunities to hundreds of bright but disadvantaged students with disabilities across 47 counties of our republic. It is a program that embodies dignity, empowerment, and inclusion. At Kenya Pipeline Foundation, we believe that education is the ultimate equalizer. Inspired by the words of Nelson Mandela, education is the most powerful weapon which we can use to change the world. We've made it our mission to ensure that no child potential is wasted due to disability or poverty. Education is a fundamental right embodied in our Constitution, yet many of our children, especially those living with disabilities, it remains out of reach due to poverty, stigma, and lack of resources. Many face immense challenges, such as limited infrastructure, the high cost of assistive devices, and societal discrimination. Some are confined to their homes, robbed of opportunities to dream and succeed. KPC Foundation saw this opportunity and took action. Since its inception in 2017, our foundation, INUKA, has supported 745 students, investing more than 120 million Kenya shillings. And this covers for tuition, uniforms, and other essential school needs. And I'm happy today I've seen a number of our colleagues who were there at the time when we came up with this project. I've seen Jason Nyantino, perhaps you can stand. Jason was our corporate communications manager at the time when we came up with INUKA in 2017. This initiative began as a secondary education scholarship and has since grown into a comprehensive that now includes tertiary education scholarship through what we call INUKA Plus. The rationale behind this program is simple. Every child deserves a chance. Through INUKA, we are committed to dismantling these barriers and ensuring that irrespective of disability or financial hardship, every child has an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to succeed. The impact of INUKA is evident. Last year alone, 47% of our scholars achieved university entry grades. I was expecting a clap. This is not just a percentage. It is a testament to the power of opportunity and resilience. We are incredibly proud of students such as Levi Kapesa, and I know they are here. Levi, you are here. You can stand. We have Monica Isabwa, and we have Alan Kombai. These three students scored top grades, and they are now pursuing their dream careers at the university. Let's appreciate them. And therefore, their success underscores why programs like INUKA matter in our society today. A particularly inspiring story is one of Caroline Wanjugu Mwangi from Nyeri County. Caroline, who has albinism, grew up in a family where three of her siblings share a condition. She faced misconceptions and societal biases, yet she persevered, scoring 397 marks in her KCPE and securing a place at Mahiga Secondary School in Nyeri. And with INUKA support, you have to listen to this. With INUKA support, she excelled, earning an A- in her KCSE. Caroline, I'm not sure whether you've been seen. Please stand. I had a chat with Caroline, and today she's on her way to fulfilling her dream of becoming a lawyer, inspired by role models like Judge Mobin Ngugi. Caroline's journey is one of courage, hard work, and determination. She embodies the spirit of INUKA. That is turning adversity into victory and lighting the way for others. To build on the success of our scholars, I am pleased to announce that the launch of the annual mentorship program under INUKA, this has been an initiative that will provide guidance, life skills, career preparation to over 370 students across 47 counties. The inaugural mentorship forum will be held here at Kise tomorrow, Tuesday, and Wednesday, bringing together 370 scholars, 47 caregivers, KPC staff, and external speakers. This program will ensure that our students do not just succeed in academics, but are also empowered to lead fulfilling lives. Additionally, we are committed to engaging our scholars beyond the classroom. INUKA beneficiaries will be eligible for internship opportunities, and depending on their qualifications and competence, they can compete for employment opportunities within Kenya Pipeline. Our goal is not just to educate, but to empower our students to become independent and self-reliant members of our society. Ladies and gentlemen, today is a call to action. This program has demonstrated its ability to transform lives. However, we cannot do it alone. To sustain and expand INUKA, we need the support of like-minded partners, government institutions, private sector players, and individuals who share in our vision. To our esteemed guests, I urge you to walk the journey with us. To our partners, your support will ensure that more children like Caroline, Levi, Monica, and Alan get the opportunity to break free from the chains of limitation and achieve their full potential. To the students, you are the reason we are here. Your resilience, your hard work, your determination inspire all of us. Know that you are not alone in this journey. You have a community that believes in you, that fights for you, and that celebrates you. As I conclude, I extend our deepest gratitude to everyone who has played a role in making INUKA what it is today, starting with our shareholder, the National Treasury, our parent ministry, Ministry of Energy and Petroleum, KPC Board of Directors, KPC Foundation Board of Trustees, our dedicated team of employees from Kenya Pipeline, our partners, and most importantly, our students who remind us every day why this work is necessary. Together, I want us to continue to lay the path for these children. Let us break the barriers and build a future where every child, regardless of ability, has the chance to succeed. Our program, INUKA, has demonstrated that disability is not inability. INUKA, arise. May God bless you, and thank you very much.